Chief guest this morning, our first event is a big event, the Javelin, where we have the African champion and the national champion, Julius Diego, who is warming up now. Then the first track event will be 400 meters hurdles. So once again, welcome. Madame Angie at home.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the final day, which is day 2 of the Athletics Kenya trials for the World Championships and the Commonwealth Games. Joining us from Kasarani, Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani. Today we have a very simple but executable schedule that will be top-notch, considering we have the Javelin men final, 400-meter hurdles final, 5,000-meter women final, 3,000-meter steeplechase women final, 1,500 meters men final, 400 meter women final, 10,000 meter men final, 800 meter men final, 100 meter women final, 100 meter men final. Then to wrap it up will be the closing ceremony and naming of Team Kenya. I'll be your host for today and will be joined later on by Greg Mulemi. Starting us off will be the javelin throw, which features the following athletes: Duncan Kinyanchui from the Kenya Police Service, Metusela Kiprop from the National Police Service, Alexander Kiprotich from the Kenya Defense Forces, and the former African champion, Kenya's greatest javelin thrower, Julius Diego. Diego, remember, was a silver medalist in the Olympics a couple of years back, and he's here to reclaim his glory. He's looking to make the team to represent Kenya at Oregon in Eugene, United States of America. These 4 athletes will face it off, looking for the perfect 85 meters and above for them to be able to execute and make Team Kenya to represent Kenya in Oregon. First 2, as long as they're able to make the 85 plus, will be able to join the team, followed by the other 2 will represent Kenya in the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, England. Welcome everyone again. This is very not so warm weather from Nairobi. My colleagues are all wearing hoodies and jumpers. Not forgetting cardigans are most welcome. If you're coming to join us here in Kasarani, please come dressed warmly. The rest of the country, we have a very sporty weekend. We have the qualifiers for athletics here, and also in Naivasha, we have the World Safari Rally taking place that started off a couple of days ago, and today is the second last day there as they finish it off on a Sunday. So today, as I'd mentioned earlier, the list of events, the first and foremost one will be the Javelin men, followed by the 400 meters men, 400 meter hurdles men, followed by the 5,000 meter women final, 3,000 meter steeplechase women final, 1,500 meters men final, 400 meter women final, 10,000 meters men final, 800 meters men final, 100 meter women final, 100 meters men final. Followed by, after all this, will be the naming of Team Kenya. First and foremost, you need to attain the qualified time. You need to have gone through all the requisite for you to participate in this upcoming meets, which are highly regarded. Not forgetting that this is a build-up for we're anticipating the 2024 Olympics in Paris, France. So We're about to kick it off. We're about to start off the javelin throw. As there is also a call for the 400-meter hurdles. Don't forget, the track and field events can go side by side as long as with the officials, and will be able to guide the athletes in both, especially those who are executing the track, the field, especially for javelin, on when they can make a throw, considering you have to be very respective and very cautious that there's a javelin throw happening at the same time they'll be running. As we look into that, there's a build-up of the 400-meter hurdles. I can see the athletes making their way to the starting blocks. We have Michael Musioka from KDF, Moitalel Mpoke Nadokila, Wiseman Were, William Bevy, Rotich Kipkorir. This is a very strong field, Just five very great athletes. The qualifying time to represent Kenya, you're required to do a 48.90 over the hurdles, the 400-meter. And as it stands, I'm looking at the qualifying times. I'm looking at Moitalel Mpoke Nadokila, who is based in the US, who is looking at going back home, or is it his second home to represent Kenya in this meet. So for all those who are joining us, it's going to be a fun-filled event. We got very many good matchups that are going to take place today, starting us off with the javelin, then going into the 400-meter hurdles, followed by the 5,000 meters women. So we expect a studded field today, and how well we can keep you entertained. Those joining us from at home, irrespective of which part of the world you're watching us from, please just in the comment section, just indicate where you're watching from. We'll wish to see some emojis just to see where you're watching us from, to see the extent that we're able to reach. Are you watching us from the US? Are you watching us from the UK? Are you watching us from Australia? Are you watching us from right here in Nairobi? So just tell us whichever city, whichever country, whichever town you're in. We'll be glad to acknowledge whoever you are and wherever you're watching us from as we join this, not forgetting this is Kenya, as an athletics powerhouse. A very strong executed day will be today as we look at the team that will be forming Team Kenya going into the World Championships and the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, England.
Aliamuka before the hii ni championship yenyewe. Hii trials wanatafuta wenye wataenda kurepresent Kenya kwa Commonwealth Games. Wataenda kurepresent Kenya kwa Commonwealth Games na World Championship. Commonwealth Games na World Championship. Si rahisi. Hakuna next trial ama nini. Unakimbia kama ni 400 meters unaenda.
Looking at this fixture for the 400-meter hurdles, as the lanes are being set up. On lane 2 we have Michael Musioka. Lane 3 we have William Bevy. Lane 4, the athlete was already qualified, Moitalel Mpoke Nadokila. Lane 5 we have Wiseman Were, and lane 6 we have Rotich Kipkorir.
Julius Yego anataka arushe Javelin. Julius Yego anataka waanze kurusha Javelin.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're just about to kick off the first track event as we set up for the first field event, the Javelin men. So 400-meter hurdles. Looking at lane number 4, wearing white. That's Moitalel Mpoke Nadokila, who's based in the US, and he's already made his qualifying time, 48.84. And here we go. I did not understand the last athletes who just held it back. Very good. Weismanwere taking lead, but you can see Moitalel Mpoke already right on his left shoulder, and Moitalel there, right there, taking it over the hurdle, but they're taking each other. So Weismanwere taking it also. So it's the two of them as we look at Michael Musioka. Whoa, there's an upset today. Whoa, Weismanwere looking for the qualifying time. Weismanwere pushing it. Weismanwere, he takes it at 49.09. Misses the qualifying time by a whisker, but that was very good. Weismanwere beats Moitalel Mpoke Nadokila. Whoa. I'm not sure I was expecting the fast rates to have, ladies and gentlemen, this is the fast track event. So just wondering what really transpired with that one. Just taking it back again to just relook on how well that race went. Looking at that start, I can see Michael Musioka was off the blocks first. Rotich Kipkorir held back, then went on. I think he thought there was going to be a recall of that start. Then you can see Weismanwere was taking a good lead. Then Moitalel was right on his shoulder, on his left shoulder, pushing when they had 300 meters to run. Weismanwere was taking lead. Moitalel was able to capture it back going into the 200-meter mark. Very good running, very good steady. But then Weismanwere, noticing that Moitalel was right next to him, he is able to execute and go further up with that jump over the hurdle, and he takes the lead back from Moitalel. And Moitalel, after that, positioning never seemed to have recovered after Were decided, I'm taking this one. Where they kept pushing, he pushed harder, and over the second last hurdle, he knocked it over, but he still kept pushing, he kept pushing, and going into the second last hurdle, Were jumps it first. Moitalel at that moment held it back, and I'm not sure whether he finished in the top two, because I'm seeing right there, William Bevy was also right up his following him. So Were still taking the lead. There, Were being able to click into the 49.09 time, and then followed right there by, William Bevy took it second. But not forgetting that Moitalel has already qualified for the World Championship. So I'm guessing, I'm looking at William Bevy and Weismanwere representing Kenya in Birmingham for the Commonwealth Championships.
$357. former national 1500 meters record. Javelin sema jambo. Ndio jambo watu wafahamu sema jambo. Sema mambo jambo. Isiendelea kuchizwa
Barnaba Koro.
Former world champion. Wapo sema jambo.
Anaitwa Barnaba Koro. Ana hapo kwa videos. Alafu utafuta Barnaba Koro.
Javelin
live events.
Ai mabaya. Sema jambo. Ai. Jamaa mwingine hapa ndani Commonwealth champion.
Umeenda kwa videos?
Kumpe Wilmina.
Mana live cast ni 300 watch. Yake na live stream ni 300 people watch. Naona kuna wengine wanatoka hapa, sijui ni kina nani hapa. Kuna athletes wanatoka hapa, sijui ni kina gani hao. Husu ni 5000 Amerika. Wanatoka wanataka kukimbia. Uone aje. Bora si ya KBC. Sasa ni hiyo. Umeona athletics, bwacha niangalie kama ni tuna watch na fana. Lakini ngare ndani. Watu wengi wamevaa red. Hawakimbii, wanarusha javelin nao. Yeah, ladies. Hebu kata. Mbada tunasikika.
Sinaona kuna wakimbiaji
wanataka
mapema. Naona hapa kukimbia.
Nikinala na hawajatoa hiyo sauti. Kulikuwa na watoto.
On your screens, getting ready for the final of the 5,000 meters. Remember, Helen Obiri is the world champion. She'll be going for a double, especially after winning that 10,000 meters women final in day one of these national trials for the World Championships and the Commonwealth Games to be held in Birmingham next month. But remember, 2 automatic winners in this one will be qualifying for the World Championship. Looking at some of these names, remember Caroline Nyaga, she might be trying to redeem herself after a disastrous outing in the 10K yesterday. And look at this strong field of events. Look at the timings of Beatrice Chebet. She qualified in a time of 14 minutes 34.35, and remember the qualification time for the World Championships is 15 minutes 10 seconds. So most of these athletes are well in the qualification times, all of them. So here it's just a matter of confirming who's the first and the second and who's gonna be the time, let's say even improve their personal best times that have been recorded in the previous events. Remember, we are live from the Mo International Sports Center, Kasarani, on day 2 of the national trials for the World Championships and the Commonwealth Games. African champion Julius Yego on the other side will be confirming that in a bit. A good throw for the former world champion and Olympic silver medalist in Javelin. But up on your screens are the participants in the 5,000 meters that is due to start any time from now. Wherever you are watching, welcome aboard. This is Athletics Kenya TV, and we are live on YouTube and Facebook. Follow, comment, share, and tell us where you're watching from. Are you enjoying this? Better weather today here in Nairobi. Not as chill as it was on Friday. And this might be the perfect weather for some of these athletes. And as you can clearly see, most of them are actually looking forward for this great occasion. Quite a delay there, and we'll be confirming exactly what's happening. But Helen Obiri in bib number 44, defending champion, gold medalist from the 2019 World Athletics Championships held in Doha, Qatar. Eva Cherono coming in a time of 14 minutes 30.77 seconds. There we go, ready for action in the 5,000 meters, and you can see, as usual, Helen Obiri taking the long strides on the inside, taking an early lead there. As usual, this is how she runs. That's her tactic. She did it in the 10,000 meters final yesterday. Right now, she's trying also to do this. She wants to go for a double. Will she do it? Let's wait and see. There you go, the first lap done and dusted. It is Chelimo in the lead. You can also see Teresia Mudoni Gateri also trying hard. Sela Jepleting in position number 2 at the moment. That is Chelimo in the lead, taking an early lead. There is Beatrice Chebet. Just for your information, the defending champion not in this one. Of course, she has the direct ticket to the World Championship by the virtue that she won gold in Doha, Qatar. So it's upon the likes of Jepleting, Chelimo, Chebet, Cherono to try and see if they can add up to what Obiri has been doing over the years in this distance, bringing the glory to Kenya.
Don't forget to inform us of where you're watching us from. I've seen there's a couple of people who've said hi to us from Italy, from Dubai. Thank you very much for tuning in. As the race progresses, this is the Athletics Kenya trials for Team Kenya to represent Kenya at the World Championships in Oregon, Eugene, and the Commonwealth Games taking place in Birmingham later on next month. So for all those who are joining us, you can share that link, share with your friends, let your family be able to join, call into your family members to join in. As you cheer for Team Kenya later on next month, let's be able to know who qualified where, who was our best athletes, not to be shocked on who is leading and how they're leading us. Greg, as this race progresses, what are your observations so far?
So far, we can say that it's quite a packed race because you look at this rich field of athletes, all of them have attained qualification times, so it's really, really difficult to tell after 3 laps of what's going to happen. Very early days in this 5,000 meters women final, but then you look at the quality of these athletes, anyone can actually steal the show here. Chelimo still in the lead from the first lap, closely followed by Sela Jepleting. These are very, very, very top quality athletes who've over the years lit up the track, and today they are here to see if they can capture those 2 slots for the World Championships and also see whoever will get that ticket to Birmingham for the Commonwealth Games. All the events happening next month. Remember, this is the 5,000 meters women final. Wherever you are watching from, welcome aboard. We are live from the Kasarani Stadium, a venue that has hosted a couple of international events, with the last one being the Kip Keino Classic, the 3rd edition of the Kip Keino Classic, where we had the likes of Fred Curley, who this morning tore the 100 meters field apart in the US trials with a 9.77, posting a world lead time, and he just did it in a span of less than 2 hours. He had run a 9.7, and that was a very, very, very ridiculous moment, and everyone was like, wow, how far can he go?
Fred, you mentioned Fred Kelly. Greg, you mentioned Fred Kelly. I had a discussion with him today morning, and he was upbeat going into the 200-meter race, which he'll be participating in later today. So plenty to look forward to. He's already set the fastest time in the world going into Oregon, so I expect so much more from him. So ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're joining us from, please just inform us of where you're joining us from, with 7 laps to go into this, with 8 laps to go as they're coming round into the I'm looking at 400. I'm doing my quick math there. For 400 by 8, it's 3200 plus 200, 3400 meter mark. As they come round, it's a very good race. Greg, I'm feeling as if they're all clogged in together, and that's kind of dangerous because it makes the race so open. Anyone can pip it to get the title to represent Kenya in Oregon. Should one person open it up? What's your suggestion of it?
I think it's very, very interesting because, as you can see, at the moment, no one has really taken matters into her own hands, with Cherono leading. Remember, Eva Cherono came in a time of 14 minutes, 30.77, and she'll be looking forward to making sure that at least she maintains that time and also finish on the podium. But the beauty of these athletes is that when they run together, anyone has a chance. And these are some of the most interesting races one would want to watch, because it will be so boring to see someone pull an Ayana so early and leave the rest of the pack lagging behind. But for this one, as they head into the 8th lap, should be the 8th lap, the 7th lap rather, then it is easy to say that all of them are capable of representing the country in Oregon and in Birmingham. But then it's all about tactics. Who's gonna throw the dice? Remember, these are very rich field of athletes. Look at them, very, very confident from the number one. And the Tanzanian is also hanging on there.
I'm looking at Gloria Kite taking the lead and stretching it a bit, but right on her shoulder. Our compatriots are not letting it all disappear. So everyone, here we go now, Greg. Here we go now. A better push into this race, a better push. We need a better pace. We need the race to be split up. You can see it's like it's going to be soon. It's going to be a straight line. Soon it's going to be a straight line because they're all clogged in together. But now soon it's going to be a straight line. Let's see how this one they push into 6 laps and 200 meters to go. So not forgetting that there's still action happening in the javelin field, looking for the 85-meter mark to make it to the World Championships qualifying time. Eva Cherono not taking Eva Cherono ensuring that she's not taking any chances with an opportunity to make it all the way to Oregon. You can see a pack. There is already 2 who've been dropped off in this race. Two participants have been dropped off in this race as the rest keep pushing and pushing and pushing.
Yes, Eva Cherono leading the pack there. Commonwealth silver medalist, represented Kenya in the 2018 Commonwealth Games, and was also a silver medalist at the then IAAF World Cross Country Championships in 2019, and has also set a personal best time of 14 minutes 34.35 seconds previously. She's leading the way, and you can see how confident she is. She's participated in the Commonwealth Games and now wants that ticket to the World Championships. But you can see also both Cheronos trying to push so hard to ensure that they get that ticket. And also Javelin is really trying hard to stay in second place in this 5,000 meters women final. Very, very interesting times ahead. Sela Javelin also trying hard to ensure that she stays, and she's now taken the lead. Javelin, it's really getting intense right now, Wex, and you can see the quick shift in pace.
The pace is getting even stronger, as you say. Javelin is taking this one as they're taking into 1,200 meters to go. 1,200 meters to go. This is going to be quite something. Three of their fellow compatriots have been dropped off in this race. I think there's a fourth one being dropped off from the leading pack. You can see a pack that has, I think, 9 athletes being led by Javelin Sela. If I'm not wrong, the fourth one has been dropped off again. So the pace has been increased. What we thought that the weather was going to remain cool, the sun is now shining on the blue artificial turf that is the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani. Javelin is still taking the lead. Greg, as they're approaching into the 800-meter marker, what do you expect of the last gruesome splits going into that 800-meter mark?
You can clearly see it's all about tactics. Like right now, Sela Javelin, Busene is still in the lead in this one. Chebet coming in, Gateri also trying hard to stay. Chelimo, she's been there. She's always been there since the start of the race, and you can see heading into the last 2 laps, it's getting more intense. It's faster. It's very quick, and you can sense that they know they're heading towards the business end of this one, and clearly it's all about who's gonna take the inside lane and utilize the tactics that have been given to them by their coaches. You know, you cannot just come and race without the tactics. Yeah.
600 meters to go. 600 meters to go, Greg, and still Sela Javelin is still leading this race. They're approaching now the 500-meter marker. Greg, you have some finesse in giving the final kick of any race, of any soccer match. When it's go time, Javelin even further increasing the... Whoa! As we go to the bell, Greg, I'm handing over the mic to you as they take into the bell. Here we go.
Beatrice Chebet versus Busene. Busene, remember, she's running 5,000 meters for the first time in these trials, and she is a 1,500-meter specialist, but you can see the pace. She's shifted the pace, made sure that she's done this. Beatrice Chebet trying so hard to close the gap, and you can see it's very fast. Look at Javelin crossing over to the last 200-meter mark in this 5,000 meters women final. Look at how she comes in, crossing that, very confident. For the first time, she's gonna win the 5,000 meters here in Nairobi. Look at, wow, the 30-year-old coming in very confident. Beatrice Chebet closing by, but then this is gonna be very interesting. We'll be looking at the time she's gonna post there. Sela Javelin, nobody gave her a chance, but then look at how she's crossing that one. Confidence. What will be the time? 15.05 is the time posted. Beatrice Chebet closing in and coming in a time of 15.09. Very interesting. The first time taking part in 5,000 meters in the national trials and posting. I think this should be her personal best.
15.05 automatic qualification. I'm guessing the 1-2 all made it to Oregon with that very well placed fast race. Happy to inform that no one was overlapped in this wrap, in this race, because it happens that we look at a 5,000 and assume that it's a short race, but it's not. It's beyond a middle distance race, because I believe after 3,000 you're going further than 7.5 laps. That's not a mean joke, eh?
No mean joke. The winner on your screens is Sela Javelin Busene, born in December 1991. Remember, she's represented Kenya in the World Military Games in Mwenyong in 2015. She's participated in the IAAF World Relays in Nassau. She's one of the ladies nobody gave a chance in the 5,000 meters. To be honest, everyone was talking about the likes of Eva Cherono, who really also had a good race, but then did not, just fell short of it. But you can see the confidence she had in the last 400 meters there. She burst out and left everyone behind and ensured that she took matters into her own hands. Very, very, very much confidence heading into the last 300-meter mark. And you can see the strides, long strides, heading into the 350-meter mark. And you can see that she knew that she had done everything possible. Her tactics, remember we talked about tactics. The tactics the coach deployed on her really, really worked well. Beatrice Chebet tried to come in very fast, but then you look at the 1500-meter specialist, that is Sela Jepleting. She knew that she was on a mission and perfectly executed her tactics heading into the home stretch. You could feel that she was already sensing victory, and yes, it all happened in a flash. Nobody expected that quick shift in pace, and you can see her turning into the last bend heading into the home stretch. Very, very rather confident run from the 30-year-old Busiane. Heading into the 200-meter mark, you could see she was all alone. Beatrice Chebet trying so hard to come by and close the gap, but then you see it was all about Jepleting and the time she had maybe projected for this one. There is a winner taking a bow. Sela Jepleting with Beatrice Chebet finishing in second place.
I'll wish to big up Jeff Therapist, watching all the way from Italy. Victor Cheriot, not forgetting John Churchill from Qatar. Daniel Kibowen Lotuya, watching from Baringo. Vincent Kibeta, watching from Nairobi, says he's waiting for the 100-meter final. There's Shadrach Kanu, watching from Dubai. Wherever you're watching us from, don't hesitate from just informing us through whichever platform you're watching us, be it Facebook, be it YouTube. Just type in the comment section and just inform us where you're watching us from. If you have a query, we may try and see how well to answer it as we set up for the next race, the 3,000-meter steeplechase women's final that has also another star-studded list of participants. We have the likes of Haivin Kieng, Beatrice Chepkoech, Salifin Cheptik, Chespol, Faith Cherotich, Purity Kirui, Jacqueline Chepkoech, Fancy Cherono, Karen Chebet, Edna Cherotich, Edna Chepkemoi, Mercy Chepkurui, and Virginia Nyambura. Greg, as you are watching us from Nairobi, or do you have, from your feed, do you have other people who are watching us from across the world?
Definitely, there's Mercy Mutali watching from Tigiri, I guess that's in Kenya. You said Prudence is watching from Siena in Italy. I know of a team in Siena. Evan Siego is watching all the way from Tokyo, Japan. All the best to the participants. Morgan Shadrach is watching from Canada. Juliana Cherop Chipchirchir watching from Kiptenden, Cherangani. Cornelius Kagongo from France. Wow. Should be going to France in 2024 for the Olympics. And then there is Kiprono also watching from Fukuoka, Japan. Vivian Cheriot says, all the best, guy. Victor Cheriot. And that is another huge throw. That should be Alexander. Not a really, really good throw. Way, way below the expectations. I think he'll be looking at that throw and saying that, oh my, I wish I did even better. That is the Javelin men final, also taking part in the field right now as we await for the 3,000 meter steeplechase. There's Jacob Malaquin watching from Doha, Qatar, Al Bioi from Bahrain, Shadrach Chasir watching from Germany live. So is Shadrach Kipyegon from Marseille in France, and Douglas Raro from Athi River, Lawi Kosgei, Richard Etil, Daniel Kibowen, Noah Chepkui, John Korir, Omondi Stephen from Juba in South Sudan, Cherotich Winnie, Brian Adenya, Betsy Kapip from Lemoru, Osin Gishu, Hilary Kipkurui, Ngosei Abraham, Majid Mayasuf, Daniel Kibowen, Daniel Korir, Dales Korir, Lukayo Carlos, Victor Cheriot, and all those who are watching. Keep it Athletes Kenya TV on Facebook, or remember we're also on YouTube. Wherever you are, welcome aboard. We are waiting for the 3,000 meters steeplechase women final. A rich field of event. Oh, and a very, very rich field here. Beatrice Chepkoech, Ivan Kieng, Selfin Chepso. Here has a unique history work.
Not forgetting star-studded list. We have from Commonwealth participants, we have Olympians in this field, we have world champions in this field. So we're expecting Greg, I'm expecting the likes of Ivan Kieng showcasing why, how great he is with the athlete, just to spice it up all for us. And I can see right there on your screens, there we have it, there we have it, there we have it, the participants for the women's 3,000 meter steeplechase final. As the ladies are setting up for the 3,000 meter steeplechase final, we look into the field where we have the one and only YouTube man, Alfred Julius Yego going for his throw, and here we go. Good throw, but slightly, it went slightly over the 80-meter mark. That was great. The crowd is ecstatic about it. That was great. It goes over 80. I'm guessing 80, 81, or 80 point something. We expect 85.0 as the qualifying mark to make it to the World Championships in Oregon. Considering that has been the best throw so far this afternoon. Turning back into the 3,000 meter steeplechase women's final, where we have Beatrice Chepkoech, Ivan Kieng, Salfin Cheptik, Faith Cherotich, Purity Kirui, Jacqueline Chepkoech, Fancy Cherono and Karen Chebet. So let's await a very great race into this. They're just finalizing with the officials right there before the commencement of this race. This is another one of those races where Kenya has maintained a very good dominance in this field of the 3,000 meter steeplechase. Even though, Greg, we get some competitions here and there from our neighbors Uganda won, and also former Kenyans who opted out of running for the Kenyan flag. Greg.
Yeah, definitely. The level of competition, it's something that is not definite. Yeah, definitely. And you can see Beatrice was in the start list, but she's not going to compete in the 3,000 meters steeplechase women final. And you can see the athletes here getting the last instructions for this one. Remember, Beatrice is the world record holder in this distance. There's Faith Cherono, Fancy Cherono, Edna Cherotich. Ivan Kieng, Selfin Chepsol, Faith Cherotich, Purity Kirui, Jacqueline Chepkoech. And there you go. The start of the steeplechase.
We also have the former Commonwealth and former Commonwealth program.
Si pia mimi nimejidunga aje huku.
Heading into the first water jump. That is Chepsol, and she falls off the ball, so that's very, very interesting. She's fallen off and picked herself up. Hope she's gonna catch up. She's quite limping, which is very, very, very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. Fancy Cherono and Chebet battling there for the first two positions. So unfortunate there for Fancy Cherono, closing the gap once again after falling down just after taking the water jump. This time round, clean and through to the third lap of this race. Javelin Chepkoech, very, very strong. Look at how she's taking matters into her own hands. World champion. Remember, Chepsol won a gold in 2018 in Tampere, and she's also a silver medalist from the Africa Championships in 2018. And Javelin Chepkoech, of course, is the current world junior champion in the distance. We saw what she did here last year when we hosted the World Juniors, but you can see it's a neck-to-neck race between the two the two world champions, I can say, because one is a former champion and one is a current champion. You can see Javelin really confident, and you can see heading into the last 800 meters, it's gonna be fire.
So we can say that this is an under 23 championships race, eh?
Definitely, and I know Beatrice Chepkoech will be watching so closely, and you can see she's cheering them on from the stands. From where we are, we can see her cheering the juniors, and it just shows you that maybe she knows these are the right people to help. And as we are talking about that, look at the distance between Javelin and Chepsol. It's huge.
Looks as if Chepsol has figured that this one, she's looking at it as if she's able to just get the position 2, will be enough to get into Oregon, as long as she makes the 9:30 time. They're coming over, Chepsol has just gone over last water hurdle. As they come, we can look at Javelin Chepkoech going into the last hurdle before the bell. And the one and only Chase Paul coming in second. Not much left in her lungs, but she's able to push. And here comes the bell. And on my left, I can see Beatrice cheering on with a smile on her face alongside Faith Kipyegon, who yesterday just did some great run in the 800 meters against Mary Mora. So going into this one with almost 300 meters to go, the junior Jacqueline Chepkoech has widened the gap, and right now looking at around 50-60 meters, and that is now at the 200 meter mark to go. Jacqueline Chepkoech still keeps pushing. She's going over. She's about to go over the last water hurdle. This is Jacqueline Chepkoech, the world under 20, and followed closely, not closely per se, followed behind by Selfin Chase Paul. Crowd now being urged by the stadium announcer to get onto their feet as we cheer on this formidable athlete, the one and only Jacqueline Chepkoech, going over the last hurdle, increasing some pace, going the push. 9:15, 17, 18, 19. Oh, she's definitely going to be within the time. That's a very good from one and only Jacqueline Chepkoech. Looking at the time for and Beatrice, Selfin, not really able to hit the time as she hits a 9:30 plus. Not really looking good for her, but unless we check on how well they're done in previous races, bodies are falling. This has not been an this has not been an easy race. Greg, I think we had already anticipated this not being an easy race.
It's not an easy race.
Especially with the absence of Beatrice Chepkoech.
And there's another Chepkoech who's actually won this one. We're talking about the 18-year-old Jacqueline Chepkoech from North Rift, winning this one in a time of 9 minutes 21.85 seconds. Selfin Chepsol coming in second place, and Virginia Nyambura of Police coming in number 3, and you could see all of them celebrating this one. You can see Chepkoech, brilliant athlete, 18-year-old world junior champion, now wants to go for the big one, that is the World Championships, to be held later on next month in Birmingham. Remember, Chepkoech, she's just 18, born on October 3rd in 2003, and you can see she promises to be one of those athletes that will be watching for a long time over the distance, especially with the likes of Beatrice turning into their 30s. The 18-year-old Jacqueline Chepkoech beating former world junior champion Selfin Chepsol on this one. Participation in the World Championships to be held in Oregon.
We're also joined here by Georgina Kyoko, who's an upcoming sprinter. She does the 100 and the 200. We've just called her here to just give us a take on what she's seen from the previous race, the 3,000 meter steeplechase. Georgina, what's your take from it?
Oh, I love the endurance the women showed and the strength that they showed. Jacqueline Keptuet came out of nowhere, guys. She came out of nowhere. The race was awesome. I'm ready to see the other races that have come up. Yeah, and congratulations to the winner.
That was the first interview for us today. We'll be calling on Georgina a couple of times just to get her feed on the respective races. So, Georgina, for now, we'll let you go continue eating your biscuits. Thank you very much.
Once again, we appreciate the presence of Kasarani, Past Lady Commonwealth Excellency. So everybody selected runners are all signed up for this amazing 1,500 meters final. And the federation is only 2 runners out of the 17 who are signed up. Well,
I can see already Manangoi, a very good friend of mine, and I can also see Timothy Cheriot. So, Greg, take us through this one. Just as a starter, what should we be expecting from this one?
Very, very tough. Remember, we lost the Olympic crown to Jacob Ingebrigtsen, and the 20-year-old is also going to Oregon. Timothy Cheruiyot, the world champion, knows that he was pushed to the limit by Ingebrigtsen in Doha.
I have some feedback on that one. Let's not forget that even for as we were to lose the Olympic, Timothy Cheruiyot had not made the Kenyan team. He was brought into the team as a substitute, and he was able to push Ingebrigtsen. So I'm looking at it to see if we didn't really lose it. Is that Cheruiyot was not at his best position going into that final, because I think 2 weeks later at the Diamond League, Cheruiyot won it again. So it's as much as we lost it, I think we still have it.
Maybe we have it, but it will all depend with who picks the first top 2 positions in the 1500 meters final. And we are ready for action. Timothy Cheruiyot, Abel Kipsang, Charles Simoto, Bethuel Birgen, Etienne Kamar, Kumar Taki, George Manangoi, Elijah Manangoi. A very, very, very rich field of athletes here. And this promises to be Ronald Kwemoy. There's Vincent Kibet Keter, an 800-meter specialist. There is Daniel Kiumba Munguti. There is Reynold Kipkorir, Brimin Kiprono Kiprot. There is Ismail Sogu of Djibouti, Ryan Mfalele of South Africa, and Peter Lopeyok of the United States of America. Eliud Kipsang of USA is also here trying to see if he can also attain that qualification time in the men 1500 meters. And the final is ready. All these athletes for the 3.5 lap race. Very, very fast. Them trying so hard to ensure that they get into the inside lane, which is very, very comfortable, especially after taking the first bend in this race. Abel Kipsang leading all the way. Remember, Abel Kipsang is the national champion. Look at Timothy Cheruiyot hanging there in position number 2. The current world champion. Kamare Tiang also inside the mix. This is going to be very, very, very fast. The 1500 meters. Remember, Abel Kipsang, the national champion. Timothy Cheruiyot, the world champion. This is very, very, very interesting. It is very, very, very fast. Very, very fast. Yes. And this is an clear intent of what these athletes want to do in Oregon. The first lap has been very, very fast. You can imagine it's been more of a 400-meter pace. Look at Abel Kipsang, still comfortable in the lead. Timothy Cheruiyot hanging there in position number 2. And that is Kamare Tiang also trying hard to stay with the rest of the pack in this one. 2 laps to go in this one, and you can feel Manangoi also coming in there. George Manangoi. 2 laps to go. Timothy Cheruiyot really confident in 3rd place. There is Abel Kipsang, the national champion. Elijah Manangoi in 5th place at the moment as we speak. Remember, there are 2 Manangois in this one. There's George and Elijah. 2.5 laps to go. Kamare Tiang taking the lead. Abel Kipsang, the national champion, in also hanging in there. Timothy Cheruiyot, for the first time, busting forward and making sure that he stays in front. That's with the Timothy Cheruiyot, you know. He has a very unique style of running, Timothy Cheruiyot.
Very unique style, like he's as lanking forward, and also he loves the gun to tip situations. He does not run like situations where he used to have the Asbel Kiprop who will come from behind. Here we come, ladies and gentlemen, going into the bell. No one wants to be left out. No one wants to be left out. And here is the part where I give it out to my colleague to take it to the last 400 meters. Greg, here we go.
Here we go. Timothy Cheruiyot versus Abel Kipsang for 1 and 2. Who will have the resilience? Who will have the confidence to take it all the way? Timothy Cheruiyot taking the lead for the first time in this race. Abel Kipsang, the national champion, also hanging on in that one. It is the race between the world champion and the national champion in the distance. Timothy Cheruiyot showing us that he's almost coming out with the best. But then look at that, another shift in pace. This is going to be very, very interesting. Is Timothy Cheruiyot coming in. Abel Kipsang trying really hard to hang on there. It is Abel Kipsang versus Chariot. It's Abel Kipsang versus Chariot coming in strongly. Look at that. This is going to be very, very interesting. Who's going to take it? It's going to be a photo finish. It is Abel Kipsang just squeezing in with Timothy coming in second.
Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're watching us from across the world, I truly believe you understand why I have to give it off to my colleague Greg Mulemi for the last 400 meters or the last 50 meters of every race, because he gets it better. I think I get overexcited. I'll jump into that pitch and try and just run across to say hi to whoever's won it. So, Greg, that was a great race, very great composure. Chariot decided to take the inner lane, maintain the pace. Whenever anyone tried to burst from the side, he maintained the lead. Just take us through the replay of this race.
Definitely, and you can see that in the last 400 meters, you could feel that there was no clear favorite in this one. Abel Kipsang and Timothy Chariot neck to neck on this one, and it is something that we have seen over the years. Timothy Chariot, remember, this man has seen it all. He's the current world champion in the distance. Lost to Jacob Ingebrigtsen in the Olympic, in the Tokyo 2020 Olympics in Japan. But then he's here to make sure that he makes amends at the World Championships. You can see there, it was neck to neck. Everyone seeking for the first two positions. 4 competitors, each driving hard to ensure that they stick together, and it wasn't clear who was going to win here. But then Abel Kipsang, the national champion, once again dominating the scene here. He came in from the outside. Timothy Chariot, remember, was just occupying the inside lane comfortably, but then look at Abel Kipsang, that kick in the last 50 meters. You can see it was really, really, really close. And look at that. When they cross the finishing line, there you go. It is a photo finish, just edging the world champion Timothy Chariot. That is Abel Kipsang, the national champion, making sure that he gets the ticket to the World Championships. And but then, yes, I'm joined by Faith Kipyegon. You've just watched a very, very nice 1500 meters men. Do you feel that Abel Kipsang and Timothy Chariot will wrestle Ingebrigtsen maybe claim gold for Kenya in this one?
Absolutely, yes. I know Timothy Chariot and Abel Kipsang are very strong right now in 1500, and they are both in the team, and I know they are going to bring the medal back home. As I know, as we are going to World Championships is a different race. It's not anybody's race. It's really different. So I know going into championship, Timothy is always strong, and I hope we will get the medal back home. Yeah.
Yesterday, the home fans, for the first time, saw you run the 800 meters. It's something they've never seen you do in a very, very long time. Finishing behind Mary Mora, you could see the confidence that was in you. You are going for the double. What are you telling Kenyans about it?
Right now, I can't say I'm going for the double, but it was really interesting race yesterday. I was not expecting to run 158 in Kenya, but with Mora, it was really incredible. She ran a very nice race. She ran 57 the first lap, and I was like, "Who am I gonna catch her?" But I'm so grateful. I ran a really good race yesterday in 800, and I'm looking forward to 1500 in Oregon. Yeah.
2017, you won gold in 1500 meters. You are the world champion, and then 2018 happened. You came back in 2019, silver medal. You are facing the same person that you beat in Tokyo for this one. You are the two clear favorites. How are you psyched up for this, and are you going to recapture this one? What's the mood? How are you feeling about it?
I can say right now I'm in a good direction towards World Champs. 2019, I lost to Sifan Hassan. She won the gold medal in 2019 to our World Championship. But I'm praying God. I hope to stay healthy, to stay in good form towards the World Champs, and I hope everything will be possible. I hope to bring the gold medal back home to defend my title from 2017, knowing that I lost in 2019. And yeah, I'm going there as a hoping for the best, yes.
Hoping for the best, and you can see maybe you have maybe raced in the United States and you know how the track is. Do you believe that it's going to give you maybe a faster time? Are you going to give yourself, let's say, a few targets in maybe gold and then time? Because sometimes we also talk about time. You've already posted a world lead this year.
I can say going to World Champs, I have a course record there. I have a course record of 3:52 from last month, May. So going there, I think I'm going to do the best. I know world record is possible. Everything is possible because we are all strong right now in 1500. And I think we are going there to run and see how it will be. But the most important thing is to bring the gold medal home.
Talking about gold medal, that's very interesting because we can see the mood in everyone who's already earned the ticket is really in good spirits. And what do you feel will be Kenya's performance in Oregon?
I can say we are going there as Kenya team, and the team which will be selected here, I know that they are all strong, starting from 100 meters with Ferdinand Omanyala. I know he's capable of bringing any medal to Kenya. So I hope we will be selected as a strong team, and I hope we will go and do the best in Oregon. Yeah.
All the best in your preparation.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is Faith Kipkegon telling us of her preparations, and she says Kenya is going to get even more medals than what they did in Doha, and she's also going to recapture the 1500 meters title she lost in Doha in 2019. Remember, she is the current Olympic champion. As we prepare for the 400 meters, yeah, Kioko.
Umeweka ya nini? Umeweka yetu? Commentary. Yo, na hope umeikopi umeweka mali. Unafukwe na notes boss. Tu notes umetufungua hapo. Vitu zako pale. Tunasikia ni muoga so. Anakuangalia. As we prep for the next race, which will be the 400-meter women's final, I'm looking at the lineup as Gladys Ndenya Musyoki, Maureen Thomas, Veronica Mutua, Helen Siombua, Mary Morao, who did some great 800-meter run yesterday, Jarinta Mawia, Jacinta Shikanda, and Joan Gerono. As we await placement on which lanes they are in, let's just keep engaging us and through all the athletics Kenya social media handles. Bring us to speed onto, if you're on Facebook, tell us where you're watching us from. If you're on YouTube, just on the comment section, just put up something and just bring us to speed on where you're watching us from, and so we may be able to be aware on what I'm guessing the lineup of the lanes is just as I'd indicated. Lane 1 has Gladys Ndenya, lane 1, Maureen Thomas, lane 2, Veronica Mutua, lane 3, Helen Siombua, lane 4, Mary Moral lane 5, Jorinta Mawia lane 6, Jacinta Shikanda lane 7, and Joan Gerono lane 8. The one to watch out for. I'm sure, Greg, you'll just take this 400 meters. It's just within you because it's a high tempo race, and we have Mary Mora, who has one of the best times in this one, but she'll be going against the one and only Helen Siombua, who also has a very good timing. Veronica Mutua has a 52.76, so lane 3, 4, 5. As it's become standard, lane 3, 4, 5 has the greatest sprinters looking at not overlooking the others, lanes 1, 2, and 6 and 7. So, Greg, as we take into this one, what should we be expecting?
Definitely watch out for the national champion, Mary Mora. Remember, she won the 800 meters yesterday right here at the Kasarani Stadium. And also, Maureen Thomas, another brilliant sprinter in the distance. Mary Mora in lane number 5. There is Helen Siombua, straight from the Africa Championships, in lane number 4. So watch out for lane number 4 and lane number 5. The national champion, Mary Mora, in lane number 5. Remember, this seems to be a police affair. Mary Mora, 53.41. 53.16 for Siombua, and Mary Mora 53.41. So it's gonna be a little tricky here to know who's gonna carry the day. But then remember, this is the 400 meters, the resilience, the confidence, the power to get off the blocks and maintain a supersonic speed over the one lap. And ultimately, we are looking forward to attaining a time of 51.35. That is set for qualification. That is the qualification standard time for the 400 meters women. So watch out for Mary Mora, fresh from winning the 800 meters right here on Friday. Helen Siombua, brilliant former national champion, brilliant athlete, also coming in, all of them from National Police Service. And there you go, this time clean and through, and you can see Mary Mora taking the early lead there. Taking the bend nicely. Mary Mora overtaking now, getting into the lead for the first time, and you can see Cheron also trying very hard, but then watch out for Mary Mora, really strong, heading into the 200-meter bend, just as she did in the 800 meters on Friday afternoon. Mary Mora showing her intent clearly in lane number 5. And you can see Helen Siombua trying really hard. Veronica Mutua also from National Police Service coming in strongly, but Mary Mora will hang on there. What is she gonna do? Mary Mora will be looking at the time that she's gonna post there. Is she gonna make it? Yes, she has 50.85 and qualifies for Oregon. Mary Mora 50.85. She'll be doing a double. The national champion, once again, showing why she is the best sprinter in the 400 meters and 800 meters. The world junior champion, she is really strong. Really strong. There is Mary Mora getting a bouquet of flowers after that pulsating 400 meters race, winning in a time of 15.89 seconds. There you can see at the 200 meter mark, she clearly knew that she was in control of matters here. Coming in strongly, and you can see the strides she took in that one. She's a very strong woman. Remember, Faye Kipyegon has just told us that she looked at the kick Mora has and she was like, wow, And she just confirmed that in this one. Mary Moraa, the national champion, coming in very, very strongly, and you can see she was way above the, you can say, she's really, really confident heading into the last 50-meter mark, and she knew that she was able to attain the qualification time, and she did it in style.
Appreciate the presence of our own athletics and president, retired Lieutenant General Joey. Once again, we appreciate and recognize the presence of our own AAT President, Lieutenant General retired Jackson Joey.
Cái lệ
Ushafunga CMU. Kuja unipigie wapi? Kumbe leo ni lakini rate inaingia.
And I'm here joined by Peter Mwai, the representative for the world record holder in 3,000 meter steeplechase, that is Beatrice Chepkoech. And there's something very important that is happening in the camp.
Yeah, it was in the camp. It was, I think, during her training around March. She developed some pain on her right leg. We had to do an MRI after doing the police championship, but it was too late because we couldn't detect it early. That's been hindering her all along during training. That's why she didn't participate today. Yeah.
We've seen her here, and there's something. She said she's not going to Oregon. When are we going to see her back in action? And what are the plans from your camp to ensure that she's back to her best and maybe participate in the future tournaments?
Okay, as for now, we just called off the World Championship. Yeah, we have tried to manage the situation, but it has become unbearable. But maybe she resume her rehabilitation earliest by next week after the medical checkup in Netherlands. Then from there, that's why we can give the way forward as to her full fitness level. Then she can compete back. Yeah, but not soon.
Thank you so much for that information. That is Peter Mwai, the representative of the world record holder in the 3,000 meter steeplechase. That is Beatrice Chepkoech, who will not be participating in the World Championships in Oregon. That's happening next month because she has an injury and she's just straight from rehabilitation. I'm taking you back to the track for the 10,000 meters, and Willie Wex will take us through this one.
Just 1 second, Peter. Don't stay far from me. We're just about to start off for the 10,000 meters men's final. Also, one of those races where Kenya hasn't been doing well, but we're looking at how well can we reclaim this lost glory of ours. Greg, I want you just to hold it up for me for a second.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be holding for a few seconds. Remember, Daniel Mateiko, Ronex Kipruto, Rogers Kwemoy, Timothy Kibet Kosgei, Charles Kamau Wanjiku, Stanley Waithaka, Richard Yator, Alexander Mutiso, Emmanuel Kiplagat. There's also Vincent Kibet Kiprotich, Philemon Kiplimo, Collins Koros, Kibiwot Kandie, Samuel Chebolei Masai, Charles Yosei, Jonathan Ndiku, Vincent Kibet Yegon, and Weldon Lagat. These are the entrants in the 10,000 men final that is going to start shortly here at the Kasarani Stadium. Remember, it's day 2 of the national trials for the World Championships and the Commonwealth Games to be held in July. Remember, the Commonwealth Games will be held in Birmingham, United Kingdom, with the World Championships set to be held in Oregon, the United States of America. The men 10,000 meter final. Watch out for the likes of Abraham Lengasiwa, Daniel Simiyu Ebenyo. Good athletes who will be seeking to see if they can get the first 2 automatic qualification spots for the World Championships. It's a rich field of athletes, 24 to be precise, with the time set 27 minutes 28 seconds. That is the world qualification standard. Watch out for the former world junior 10,000 meters final, rather gold medalist, Edward Zakayo. There is Daniel Mateiko. There is Rones Kipruto, Rogers Kwemoi, Richard Yator, and Alexander Mutiso. And we are ready for action. And we are live from the Kasarani Stadium.
Greg, as we stated to anyone who's watching us from across the world, just tell us where you're watching us from. If you have feedback for us, the comment section of Facebook Athletics Kenya page or the YouTube page, just give us some feedback. We'll revert back to you. We're looking at how well Kenya can redeem the 10,000 meter title, and here we go. We have 25 laps, 25 gruesome laps. As this race starts, I just take it to Greg and ask him the largest distance of training he's ever done. My best timing is on a 21K. Greg, what's your best timing?
To be honest, I ran 12 kilometers for 2 hours, so I'm not really good in long distances.
You did what?
I ran a 12K race in 1:59:59. Then I can always say that I'm not good at long distance running. I can sprint, but not now.
For athletics is one of those fields which we respect everyone who participates in it. I'm looking at this team of young Kenyan men, energetic, looking to go to Oregon to represent their country. The best time they're looking for is a 27:28 over those 25 laps, now going into 24 laps. I'm expecting a faster race compared to, because I'm seeing there's someone who's already taken lead, and this creates an instance where the guys behind get some sort of panic and have to respond to that person, even if it wasn't in your prep that you had planned not to go first. You will need just to do something about it. So watching out for this race and how well these guys can be able to push. Looking at the likes of Daniel Mateiko, Ronex Kipruto, Rogers Kwemoi. These are some great runners in this race. Timothy Kibetkowski, Charles Kamau Wanjiko, Stanley Waithaka Mburuk, Richard Yator, Alexander Mutiso, Weldon Langat, Philemon Kiplimo. All these athletes are pushing it well. Aha! One of my favorites I always remember him from the World Juniors. One Zakayo, Edward Zakayo. He's not had a good couple of seasons after his triumph in 2017. Greg, what do you have to say about Zakayo taking charge of such a race?
That's a confident take from him, and you can feel he's trying to make a comeback, and maybe this time round he's going to get it right. He's one of those few athletes everyone has been touting to be to succeed, but you can see just behind there it is Simiu, but then Zakayo, with also his unique way of running, wants to go and participate in the World Championships, and he's taken an early lead in this one, controlling the pace and ensuring that everyone runs according to his style. But then you can feel very difficult to tell. It's early days here, and you can see Zakayo, Simiu, all of them in the mix. There is Kandie. There's Vincent Kibet is also there. So it's all about how they will execute their game plan on this one. And Ndiku, who's actually has been leading from the start before Zakayo took the lead for a few meters, but then Ndiku is back in front there, and this is still very close.
That's a very good, Greg. I'm happy that they're alternating on who's taking lead, and Ndiku taking it over from Zakayo, who's now running fifth. Being a long distance race, 10,000 meters, that's 10 kilometers. Greg, I would wish that we talk about the Kenya men's team. that is going to represent us in the marathon. We have the likes of Jeffrey Kamoror, Lawrence Cherono, Barnabas Kitum, and Geoffrey Kirui. What do you expect from that team when they go for the championship? Do you expect them to get the gold, the silver, and the bronze, or do you expect some... what's your take from it?
Look at the field, Lawrence Cherono, Kamoror, there is Barnabas Kitum and Geoffrey Kirui. It's a strong, strong field of athletes. And what I can assure you, there's a medal. There's a medal there. I don't know which color the medal will be.
I prefer the gold.
You prefer the gold, yeah.
The gold.
We've been dominating the marathons. And but they watch out for the Ethiopians. They've really, really been strong in the last couple of months. And we all know Kenya is Kenya. When we face stiff challenges, that's when we rise to the occasion. And I'm sure in marathon we'll carry the day. But look at the 10,000 meters. We're still having Diku in front there. Look out at... there is a slight change in the lead. And... Alfred Barkach taking the lead. Kandia still hanging, not Kandia really, but Simiu also hanging on there. And you can feel that all these athletes are like trying to ensure that they stick together, because it's really, really hot here in Nairobi today, hot and humid, meaning that they also have to preserve some of the energy for the latter stages of this 10,000 meters final, because the risk of going rather busting away from the rest of the field early is that you might burn out and get tired. We've seen athletes do that. Some of them have been successful. Some of them have really failed terribly. So Simiu deciding that he's not going to stay back again. He wants to stay in front of the pack. There's also Ronex Kipruto in there. Also watch for Weldon Langat, another brilliant athlete coming all the way from, coming into the championship in a time of 27:25.08.
Greg, is this the same Simiu who was running yesterday in the 5,000 meters?
Yeah, certainly. He lost that chance to represent the country in the last 50 meters. He ran out of steam, but he is a 10,000 meter specialist, so this one should be easy for him if he executes his plan very well. You remember yesterday he lost it just at the 50 meter mark. He ran out of steam. He ran from the inside, and clearly with his strides he wasn't able to make it. Kandie leading right now, and I talked about him before. A very, very strong athlete. Kibiwot Kandie of Kenya Defense Forces. He's one of the athletes who will also say that he looks very, very promising, and you can see the confidence that he's having, dictating the pace in this one. I tell you, today is a day of reckoning, because everyone knows it's either the first two positions or not. And there is Kipruto, Ronex Kipruto. We talked about him taking the lead also. So they are all exchanging leads, and it now depends with who's going to control this one even better. That is Ronex Kipruto leading there. Look at Simiu Ebenyo in position number 3. Kandie in second place. Very, very tight at the moment, but still early. Ronex Kipruto leading there, and as they take that bend, Ronex Kipruto in his usual style leading there. Kandie coming in second, and Simiyu falling a wee bit into fourth place. That is Rones Kipruto. The 22-year-old Ronek Kipruto. He's the 2018 10,000 meters world under 20 champion at the 2019 World Championships in Doha. He won a bronze medal. So he knows what to do, when to do, and you can clearly feel that he is in control of this one. The field is now being stretched and you can see gaps emerging. They've now exchanged the lead once again. And that is Kandie in the lead at the moment. Ronex Kipruto falling into third place. Simiyu in second place in this 10,000 meters.
The 10,000 meter race being a very lengthy race. Now they have 15 laps to go. From my calculation, I believe that's when you say they're at the 6,000 mark, 6,000 meter mark. There are 15 laps to go, coming to get to the 14 laps to go. As Kandie is leading right ahead of Simiyu Ebenyo. We are now into three groups. There's a leading pack that is a straight line, and it has 8 people. Then there's another chasing group that has 5. Then a packet of 1-1-1 who's been stretched out. So we're looking at who is able to sustain this pace. How well do they manage this? How well do they proceed into the remaining sort of half, considering it is 25 laps to go, and they've already done 14 laps going into the 13th lap. So expectations are from Kandie and Simiyu. Kipruto right there with them. 13 laps to go. By the time they hit the 200-meter marker, they'll have hit halfway into this race. Trying to look at the split of time so that at least we can look at what to expect from this race. I'm saying 13:38 at the 300-meter mark. How well do they sustain this one? Slightly heading into the 200-meter mark. And the split there is 13:54. 13:54 at halfway into this race. Qualifying time is 27:28. Greg, what do we have?
Well within qualification time, if they maintain this pace. I know it's going to get faster towards the latter stages of this one. But then look at Ronex, really strong. He's now started to stretch the rest of the field. But then look at Simiyu Ebenyo, showing that he knows how to run the 10,000 meters. Remember, these two have been rivals for the last couple of seasons. Yes, Ronex Kipruto and Simiyu Ebenyo, but then Kandie is also in the mix. So it's still early days, by the way. It's just halfway. And you can see clearly the athletes are feeling the heat at Kasarani. It was really, really cold on Friday afternoon. And there was no sign of sunshine. There was nothing. There was no... and everyone was like freezing in the stadium. But today, things looking a little bit better, and we should expect faster times in the upcoming races.
Greg, as you're talking about the weather, I'm looking at the crew that we came up with here. The guys in the morning had their hoodies, had their jackets on. Right now, I'm looking at my producer Victor is nearly about just to be wearing his vest only because of the heat that is here at Kasarani. The cameraman, camera folk, look at that guy is getting roasted, and the best he can remain with is the reflector jacket to ensure that he remains legally well dressed. So with 11 laps to go, we have Ronex with the lead, followed right behind by Simiyu Ebenyo. Greg, 11 laps to go, split time 15:39. 11 laps to go. There is a now the leading pack has 2, 4, 6, around 8 people, because the one who's right behind can still catch up with them. Is it going to remain this way? Do you expect another surge forward by one of the athletes to open it up further?
Clearly, Ronex looks the favorite in this one. You can see he's very confident. He's stretching the rest of the field. Simiyu Ebenyo, who's always been his closest. And you can see there's a little bit of shoving there. It's happening, and Ronex falling where a little bit, with Simiyu taking the lead for the first time. There was some scuffle there, and I'm sure the athletes must be sizing themselves in that one. But Simiyu Ebenyo in the lead for the first time, but then Kandie deciding to take matters also into his own hands and taking the lead once again. So they're really, really, really exchanging the lead, and it's really tight, by the way. Wherever you're watching from, this is the 10,000 meters final. Remember, the first 2 athletes will qualify automatically for the World Championships to be held next month in Oregon, United States of America. There is also the Commonwealth Games coming up later on, and this is very, very interesting. The field has been split into 1, 2, 3, 4.
As you state that, I need just to get some clarity from you, Greg. Not forgetting that as much as they're competitors right now, going into the Olympic, going into the World Championships and going into the Commonwealth, they'll still have to employ some teamwork tactics, because they'll be working under one coach. What do you expect from that, Shul Kenya? Like whoever gets into this one, you'll still have to work with the person you're competing with right now.
Definitely, because there, it's all about trying to win medals for the country, and there's no more individualism when it comes to that. And I know the coaches must prepare them very well and tell them that, look here, we've not been performing very well in the 10,000 meters in the last few years, and this is a race we need to start dominating. And you look at the likes of Ronex Kipruto, a very young man who we know is capable of winning gold wherever he is called upon. They'll be looking at it and saying that this is a possibility, and Ronex didn't have a good one at the Olympics. He'll be trying to see if he can actually make amends and probably get a medal, if not gold, because this is a race where we have a lot of athletes who have huge, huge potential, but we yet to get that gold. Remember, the Ugandan has been dominating the scene, and that is the first thing they have to make sure that they get rid of, and that is Ronex Kipruto and Simiyu Ebenyo, the 2 athletes who've always been the greatest challengers when it comes to the 10,000 meters here on home soil. That is Mburu also in the mix, occupying second place at the moment, and this is a very, very interesting race as they head into that stretch. Ronex in control of that, and Mburu in second place. Simiyu is in third place. Simiyu, Ebenyo, Mateiko and Zakayo also in the mix. So it's really, really, really competitive, and you can clearly see we have athletes who are capable of causing upsets in Oregon, but who will it be? From the 6, 2 must come out top.
I'm actually impressed that Zakayo is still part of this leading pack, considering what we saw of him at the Kipkeino Classic just slightly under a month in the month of May. So, as you stated, the pack of 6 that has Ronex and Kandie, Ebenyo, Zakayo, it's a very strong field, and it's more of who wants it more. They've done their 7 laps. We are the 20-meter 2028. My next point, I can see someone who was assisting there with the water. I was a bit worried about the water points because it had taken long before they were set up, and I was a bit worried considering this is a very long race, Greg. And you can see there's some activity happening in the front pack. Benyo had been dropped off, but he's just made his recovery back into the leading pack. Greg?
Benyo really, really wants to make sure that he makes amends after finishing third in the 5,000 meters on day 1 of the trials. But then Kandie is really strong. Kandie hasn't given up. He took the lead from the first one, and he's here showing that he's not taking this lightly. He's taking matters into his own hands. Kibiwot Kandie. The 25-year-old, he has had victories in half marathon in the United Arab Emirates, won the Praha marathon, half marathon in the Czech Republic, the Valencia marathon in 2020, and set a world record in half marathon in a time of 57.32, breaking Geoffrey Kamworor's record that was in December 2020. That is Kibiwot Kandie, who is currently leading this race here. Behind him is Simiyu, Ebenyo, Daniel Simiyu Ebenyo. Remember, this is a name that we've been talking about. Also, the man brought up in Baragoi, in Samburu County, that is Daniel Simiyu Ebenyo. So a very, very interesting history here. He said that he lost his father in cattle rustling and was raised by his mother and late grandmother. And he said that while at a Yam Day Secondary School, he could trek for 24 kilometers. That is Daniel Simiyu Ebenyo.
Clearly shows where the endurance came from. It's a very sad story, but how well do you take the adversity and come out strong into whatever you believe in? That's a very good, strong field. And if you're watching with close to 4 laps to go, you can see the first 2 athletes about to be lapped by the leading pack that has Kipruto Mateiko, Waithaka, Kandie, Simiyu, and Zakayo. 4 laps to go. That's 1,600 meters. And by the time they hit the 300-meter mark, it turns out into a 1,500-meter race.
That is when you begin to see these athletes change pace and splitting the rest of the field. So, as we said, it's who's going to get the tactics right. It's still very, very close. That is Ronex Kipruto leading there. And you can feel that there's going to be quite a sprint when it comes to the last lap, because nobody has decided to go and take the lead this early. But then the 6 still together. You can see that is Ronex leading there. All of them want to snatch that gold from Joshua Cheptegei of Uganda. Remember, he is the world record holder in the 10,000 meters, the Olympic champion over the distance. He's also the world champion in 10,000 meters, Joshua Cheptegei of Uganda. But then we have Ronex, we have Simiyu, we have Kandie, we have the likes of Edward Zakayo, all of them seeking for that position. That is Mateko leading at the moment. Is he gonna stay in the lead? Seems nobody wants to take water in the first 6 slots. Nobody wants the water right now. They're looking at the timings. They're looking at the opponents.
I'm looking at Zakayo, still looking strong. That's what I was saying, Greg. I'm quite impressed by Zakayo Edward, considering trying to recover from a very good form which he had as a junior and he wasn't really able to capitalize going into the seniors race. But now here he is competing against some of the best with 3 laps to go, now heading into the two laps to go, and is right there in the smack of it. He's 4th place right now. As you're looking at Mateko, Kipruto, Mateko Waithaka right next, and then right behind him you have Simiyu, Kandie, and the one and only Zakayo Edward. So with now what you can say 700, and there Zakayo takes the lead. Simiyu is also responding to it. So as we go into this, we have now around close to 600 meters to go. Waithaka has taken the lead. Mateko, Ebenyo, Kandie is 4th. Greg, Kandie is 4th. And this is not really looking good. I'm seeing Simiyu responding. Simiyu has responded to the surge that has been done there by Waithaka. So it's Waithaka, Mateko, Ebenyo, Simiyu, Zakayo. Is that Kandie there, or is it Kipruto? So here comes the bell, and ladies and gentlemen, as I've been doing it with all these long distance races, Gregory, it's time for you to take it away.
Stanley Waithaka Mburu leading there, very strong there. There's Mateko also coming in very strongly, and Simiyu in 3rd place. Edward Zakayo in 4th place, really trying hard. Kandie in 5th place. Rones was falling away, and look at Zakayo taking the 3rd place right now. But then look at Simiyu and Waithaka coming in very strongly. Stanley Waithaka Mburu coming in strongly. He's in the lead. But then look at Edward Zakayo coming very strongly. This is gonna be very interesting. That is Kandie coming in. He led from the front. He decided, this is my race. It is Kandie, Abraham, Kim, and that is Waithaka finishing 2nd. Wow. Who knew Stanley Waithaka was gonna steal the show here? Kibiwot Kandie, a man who wasn't in anyone's lips. Everyone was talking about Simiyu, everyone was talking about Zakayo, everyone was talking about Ronex Kipruto, but then Waithaka and Kandie decided, this is our race. That is him getting his bouquet of flowers. Congratulations to the winner, 10,000 meters in this final.
I'm looking at the time, Greg. I'm a bit worried looking at the time, considering I'm looking at the split happened at 27.33. The race ended at 27.3357. I'm a bit worried because the qualifying time is 27.28. Unless Kandie has posted a faster time somewhere else in a different race that is ratified by the World Athletics, I'm in doubt on whether he's going to represent Kenya in the World Athletics Championships. This was a massive race. Let's cheer on for the remainder of the athletes who are coming round, and there's a very big push right there, Greg. I'm super impressed. So looking at the bust, looking at the replay, and looking at Kandie, who was 5th at one moment. He was right behind Ebenyo. He takes like at the 200 meter mark is when he decided, I'm not letting this one go. My ticket, I'd already booked my ticket to Oregon. There's no leaving me behind. He takes it up. He takes it as a leader who he is. He's been phenomenal. He's been one of the greatest competitors for Cheptegei, the Ugandan. So Kandie, figuring that he's also been doing very well in the half marathon, so he figured this is not going to be the race which I'll be profiled with. So he started overtaking them one by one. Zakayo was out. Waithaka was out. And he was able to obliterate that whole field. And I'm super impressed by what Kibiwot Kandie from the Kenya Defense Forces was able to do to emerge the winner of this 10,000 meters men final here in Kasarani. Greg, that was a massive last 200 meters of this championship.
Kibiwot Kandie showing why coming in second. And we are now ready for the 800 meters men final. This is a race that everyone has been waiting for. It's one of the few races that everyone talks about, the 800 meters and the athletes jogging towards the starting line. Very rich field of athletes here. Watch out for Noah Kibet. There's Festus Lagat. There's Nicholas Kiplangat Kebene. There's Emmanuel Wanyonyi, the guy who posted a world lead time earlier on this year, just a few weeks ago in Rabat, Morocco. There's Ferguson Cheruiyot, the Olympic silver medalist from Tokyo in July last year. There's Jonathan Kitilil. There is Cornelius Tuwei, Wycliffe Kim Nyamal, Andrew Roby, Collins Kipruto, Michael Saruni of Rongai Athletics Club. There is Elias Ngeny, who will also be competing in this one, the 800 meters. A two-lap race where Kenya has been dominating, and they should continue dominating.
The one guy I was riding with in the same car today morning, Wilfred Bangay, who was a very great runner in this one. And then not forgetting the one and only, the greatest, the world record holder, the Olympic champion, David Lekuta Rudisha. So this is one of those races which we look at, and we get excited by what we see from it. So as the athletes take their final warm, I can see Ferguson Rotich there, the number 4 tag on him. So this is going to be also another fast race. Gregor, what are your expectations? Well, after this one, we just have two more races. And those will be the sprint finals of the 100-meter women and the 100-meter men.
Watch out for Noah Kibet in this one. Watch out for Ferguson Rotich. Watch out for Emmanuel Saruni. A number of athletes. That is Noah Kibet warming up there. As the athletes get ready. The 17-year-old Noah Kibet, this young man is really electric. But then watch out for Emmanuel Wanyonyi. Two young athletes to watch out to. But remember, Ferguson Rotich, the Olympic silver medalist, is also very strong and will want to prove a point in this one. He knows that he's here to capture any gold medal. He's always been finishing just outside the podium in some of these races, but right now he knows that he has a chance maybe to end that drought for gold at a global championships. That is Ferguson Rotich. Emmanuel Wanyonyi, the young man, the world under-20 champion, won the Rabat Diamond League in a very impressive time. He's here also to prove a point. There is And that the young man in lane 1, Noah Kibet. There is Festus Lagat in lane number 2, Nicholas Kiplangat Kebene in Festus Lagat. Kebene and Lagat sharing lane number 2. Emmanuel Wanyonyi, another young man to watch out to. Ferguson Rotich and Jonathan Kitilit. To Cornelius Tuwei. Andrew Robbie of Tanzania also trying out here in lane number 6. Kipruto, Michael Saruni. Those are the starters in this 800 meters men final. Watch out for Noah Kibet. And there you go, the start of the 800 meters men final. Noah Kibet and Wanyonyi, those are the athletes that we'll be watching, and Noah Kibet has already taken the lead, but then watch out for Emmanuel Wanyonyi in this one. Festus Lagat also in the mix in this one as they take that bend towards the 300 meter mark. Noah Kibet still leading, but Wanyonyi coming from the outside. He looks really, really strong. This young man, the world junior champion, Emmanuel Wanyonyi, in third place at the moment. Noah Kibet still in the lead, but then it's now settled, and Kibet still in the lead as they take the bell. Emmanuel Wanyonyi still in third place. This is going to be very interesting. Ferguson Rotich still way, way back as it is his style. Let's see what happens as they head towards the 600 meter mark. That is Noah Kibet. Emmanuel Wanyonyi coming from the outside. What will happen heading into the last 200 meters? Wanyonyi busting now. Noah Kibet still hanging on there. This will be very, very interesting. Ferguson Rotich is not even in the equation. Noah Kibet taking the lead. Emmanuel Wanyonyi in fourth place. Look at Noah Kibet. Really, really strong, taking in the bend and coming on the inside. What will happen here? Is it time? Wanyonyi. And that is Etiang. This is very interesting. Wanyonyi finishing second just behind. Wow. Manyal 1:43 is the unofficial time. We'll be confirming that, but then sprinting from the back to beat the rest of the field. Noah Kibet just fell short of gas towards the 100 meter mark, and Emmanuel Wanyonyi finishing second. Wycliffe Kinyamal winning that one and ensuring that he gets that ticket to the World Championships. Wycliffe Kinyamal there on your screens, the winner of this 800 meters.
Kinyamal just did the unthinkable right there to the entire, obliterated the entire field. I was shocked trying to look for Ferguson Rotich on whether he could be able to make a comeback there. Kimanyal got it, and right behind him was the young Emmanuel Wanyonyi. This was a very, 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 very good race. Looking back into the last 300 meters, Kimanyala taking a lead, an early lead, and he kept pushing. You can see right in your picture that for the young man, Emmanuel Wanyonyi, he looked as if he was a bit beaten at this point because he was close to 4th place, and he kept pushing. He kept pushing. So going into the 200-meter mark, they kept pushing, and at the last 100 meters is where the one and only Emmanuel Wanyonyi Kibet had a very good run right there. But as they took into the last 100 meters, Wanyonyi started showing the experience that he's gathered the last couple of months. Don't forget, this is a recent World Junior, and coming with not as much experience as his compatriots, but he was able to push it. Kibetu had taken an early lead, not able to sustain it as Kimanyal just decided, guys, this is not your race, this is my race. Wycliffe Kimanyal just obliterated the entire field, and as a shocker, the one and only Wanyonyi came in a distant second, followed right there by Elijah Ngenyi, who was nearly beating Wanyonyi right at the end. So those three posting a very good time. So we'll await to see the final timings, because these ones are unofficial timings. We'll await the official timings going into it. We're about to go into the last 2 races of the day. Greg, these are your specialities, considering these are sprints. You have the women's 100-meter final, followed by what in Kenya is now being referred to as Omanyala time, the 100-meter men's final. For the women, we have Beatrice Anyango, Caroline Mwende, Eunice Kadogo, Monica Safania, Masi Chebet, Maximila Imali, Diana Chebet, Esther Mbagari, Millicent Ndoro. Don't forget Maximila Imali yesterday in the 200 meters did some crazy run over here. We were really excited by what she did, and as we expected her to replicate another great performance today. As we look into this final, Greg, what should we be expecting globally? What transpired in the American Championships is that Shakari Richards did not even make it out of the first round. We have to mention that because last Olympics she didn't make it after there was a use of bang, which became an issue, and it was a whole topic across the world on what was perceived around that. But this time round, she was there, she was in the qualifiers, but she didn't make it. Greg, take us through that.
Reminds me of a photo I saw going around in social media where the Jamaicans were laughing at her after beating her in some race. But then that's a story for another day. We prepare for the 100 meters women final. Remember, the World Championships qualification standard time is 11.15 seconds, and there is a lot of work to do here. Maximila Imali has to make sure that she improves on a 11.26 to make it to Oregon in the 100 meters. Remember, she just missed out on time yesterday in the 200 meters, and she'll be trying to ensure that she's among. And those are the athletes there. You can see that is Kadogo, very calm and composed. There's Safania of police. That is Anyango Beatrice in lane number 1, comfortably sitting there, concentrating, releasing the pressure. That is Beatrice Anyango of Kenya Prisons. Caroline Mwende of Kenya Defense Forces in lane number 2. Eunice Kadogo, former national champion, in lane number 3. Monica Safania of National Police Service. Masi Chebet of Maximilian Imali. The women 100 meters final. Watch out for the national champion, Maximilia, in lane number 6. There is also Eunice Kadogo, the former national champion, former national record holder in the distance. The women 100 meters final. And there we go, clean and through, and Maximilia off the blocks, nicely stretching the rest of the field, trying to get that 11.15. She's gotten it. No! Wow! She just misses by a 0.04 of a second. This is devastating, but then she still shows us why she is the best in the distance. Maximilia Imali winning that one in a time of 11.19. We'll be waiting for the official confirmation on the timings, but the winner, the national record holder, the national champion, straight from the Africa Senior Athletics Championships, Maximilia Imali winning this one, the 100 meters women final, in a time of 11.19. I know she's quite dejected. She didn't attain that 11.15, but then she's getting there.
That was as much as she was excited about it. Let's just look at how she got off the blocks. It's a simple, very good run from Maximilia Imali. And the response time, the reaction time was good. Off the blocks, quick, looking down, then getting into a good posture, and very good strides, step by step as she moved and obliterated the entire, because no one was anywhere close. I believe the person who was closest to her was it Caroline Mwende? Or was it Millicent Ndoro? I think it's Millicent Ndoro who was closest to her. So you can look at the official timings. Maximilia Imali with the assisted of speed of plus 0.3. She did it in 11.19. Millicent Ndoro 11.55. Monica Safania 11.75. Very great race. Eunice Kadogo, the former champion, at 11.84. Esther Mbagari 12.05. Mercy Chebet at 12.22. Diana Chebet to just wind it up was Caroline Mwende from KDF at 12.89. And Greg, it's what we call the Omanyala time? It's about that time. So as we bring it down to this other side, the one and only, the men's 100 meter final. This has been his area of shining. He's done some great things here. He set the world's fastest time before my boy from the US did something to that fastest time. So Ferdinand Omanyala, but to check up on this lineup, I know Mike Mokamba is not participating in this one. As I've just had word with him, he's right next to us. We'll have get an interview with him right after this one. But we have Moffat Ngari, Boniface Mweresa, Dan Kiviazi, Samuel Imeta, Hezbon Ochieng, Stephen Oluoch, and the one and only, the African champion, looking to go into the World Championships and cause an upset, the one and only Ferdinand Omanyala Omurwa. Greg, as they're setting up the blocks, what are your expectations from this one?
I'm sure Ferdinand has heard what his colleague Kali did earlier on today. And the last time I talked to Ferdinand, he said that he wants to do a 9.6 this year. And he says it's a possibility. And this is the race that will test his resilience. Remember, he's just fresh from winning a double at the Senior Africa Challenge, Athletics Challenge in Mauritius, the Senior Africa Athletics Championships that were held in Côte du National Stadium in Mauritius. And he knows that he has what it takes to push all the way for a medal at a global event. Remember, he is the reigning African champion. Just beat Akani Simbine by a fraction of a second in Mauritius, winning Kenya's first gold in 100 meters for over 2 decades. Actually, it's 32 years since Mr. Gikonyo won in 1992. It wasn't a Kenyan race until Omanyala emerged, and he's here seeking for that. He's already qualified for the World Championships, but he has to come at least and compete with the rest. Remember, there's also Hesbon Ochieng in the mix, another very, very good sprinter coming out of prisons. There's Samuel Emeta of Kenya Defence Forces, another very, very good sprinter. So this will be interesting. If Omanyala gets off the block well, and the closest challengers, who will it be? I'm looking at Hesbon Ochieng.
This is going to be a very great race. It's going to be faster. We'll try and catch an interview with Ferdinand right after this. I'll just need to take a clip and share it with Fred Kali on what he'll take of it, because Fred Kali just obliterated the world lead that was at 9.85, and he did a very great race earlier. So Mweresa is taking the second lane. What was the third lane, eh? Oh, the fourth lane we have Moses Wasike. Moses Wasike. The fifth lane has Samuel Imeta. Lane number 6 has the African champion, the one and only charismatic Ferdinand Omuro Omanyala. That's what the crowd is really waiting. I can see everyone with their phones. One Ochieng, Hesbon from prisons. We have in lane 8 Stephen Oluoche, and also don't forgetting he's coming from KDF, and lane 9 has representing the universities Mark Kangede. Fantastic that we have all this set up for this one. Greg, we're about to hit the last event of this day. It's been a great last 2 days. But what are your expectations from this race? And you had stated that you're looking at who takes the other position, trying to hit the time of 10.05 to make a qualification into the World Championships.
Quite a lot to expect from this one. The last event of the day, the men 100 meters. And let's see what transpires. It's gonna be very, very interesting. The last event of the day, the men's 100 meters final.
Greg, this one is just reminding me of when we were in the booth for the Cape Keino Classic, because there was some tension around it, but here we go. The officials have called for the athletes to go into the blocks. Greg, this is a sprint. I'm not going to even try to do magic that you can do by in your default setting, even when you're asleep. So Greg, take us through this 100 meter final, the last event of this qualifiers.
Getting the last instructions on these ones from the officials. It's now time for action. The men 100 meters final. Sit back, enjoy. It's another false start, meaning that, wow, the tension rising, and there's gonna be a red flag or a green flag. Let's wait and see. This will be interesting. Is it Hesbon Ochieng? in lane number 7.
Greg, as I told you, it had the same feeling as what we had with the Cape Kano Classic, because it's a 100-meter race, has some delay. We can look at the replay and just see what was the reaction time as we await the officials to give us clarity. It might have been a technical. We don't want to cause any anxiety. Everyone is watching and everyone is wondering what happened to this race. As you look at the replay, what happened? There was some reaction, and as we await, curtains fall on Hezbon Ochieng, who's set up some very good time and representing Prisons. I'm sure he's devastated. Greg, that's not what an athlete wants. But also, some of the greats have also had such scenarios. I remember Usain Bolt having one of these in one of World Championships races.
Yeah, this is actually the man everyone was touting to push, Ferdinand Omanyala, in this one. Hezbon Ochieng of Kenya Prisons. He's no longer in the race. He's been dismissed for a false start, as we saw there. And now we are down to a field of 7. And this means that there'll be no representative. Hezbon Ochieng will not be taking part in this one. Let's wait and see who else gonna push the 8th fastest man on earth in this race. Concentration, focus, and of course and there off we go. Nice. And Omanyala has decided to take matters into his own hands. Just and keep it. Kimeta trying, and Omanyala finishing like 10.04 is the time. Samuel Imeta pushing Omanyala all the way. Imeta from KDF finishing just a few seconds behind Ferdinand Omanyala, a fraction of a second behind Omanyala, who won this one in a time of 10.04. The African champion extending his dominance in the country. Still no one to beat him locally. Ferdinand Omanyala, the African champion, the 2nd fastest man in the distance this year, looked calm before the race started. He was really focused. After a 1 false start, which saw Hezbon Ochieng dismissed, it was down to Imeta and Omanyala, and look at that.
Kwa hivyo tungeomba msiondoke, mkae hapa karibu ili jina lako likitajwa basi tusianze kutafuta.
You can clearly see Imeta got off the blocks better than Ferdinand. He was slightly in the lead before Omanyala decided, this is my race. On the outside also came Moffat Ngari, but then Omanyala stretching the rest of the field after the 30-meter mark, and look at that. That was quite some distance, and definitely this is what we want to see. This is what Kenya is made of. We can do the middle distances, the long distances, and of course we can do the short distances. And it has been a very, very, very good day. And confirming the timings there, Ferdinand Omanyala 10.03 is the winner of the men 100 meters final. Samuel Imeta of KDF 10.25, Boniface Mueres of KDF 10.46, Stephen Olwach of KDF 10.54, Mark Kanget of the universities. The young man has really tried. 10.59 in position number 5. Moses Wasike of 10.66, Tyson Juma 10.70, and Moffat Ngare did not start. Remember, Hesbon Ochieng was dismissed for a false start, and that has been the men 100 meters final, and the crowd now gathering to ensure that they see the last bit of action. And I'll hand over the microphone to Willie Wex, who is with Mike Mokamba, who did not take part in the 100 meters, and maybe he'll give us the reason why that happened. Over to you, Willie Wex.
Thank you very much, Greg, getting us through the 100 meters final. I'm here joined by two brothers. This is a sprint family. I'm privileged to say that I've seen them grow as kids, so I've raced against their dad chasing me home, so that's how well I know them. So we have Walter Moenga and Mike Mokamba. Walter Moenga, just to remind you, he's the 2014 Kenya champion. He holds the national record in the 4x for both men and women. There was Maximila winning the women's race, and then there was Ferdinand, who was also pushed towards the end. Just what you feel towards it, and what do you see into the future of Kenya racing in the sprints?
Yeah, it's an awesome feeling, and actually, as sprinters in the country, we are taking the right direction and bearing. Because the ladies have also qualified for the World Championship. Ferdinand has qualified. We have somebody from the 400 adults, and another guy has also qualified for the 400 adults. So we as sprinters, we are headed to the right direction, and I think it's our time now to also reap what we've sown for a very long time.
Mike, you didn't participate in the 100 meters yet. Your name had been put up. What happened to that? And then as you wind up, you can tell us about the experience you picked up from the Africa Championships.
The reason why I did not participate in the 100 meters is because I decided to concentrate on my 200 meters, at least to put more work on it, more effort and energy on it. So maybe I can lower my times. Yeah.
Experiences are picked up from the African Championships. You're now an African champ. We have a gold in the 4x100 meters. What experience did you pick up from there?
The experience there was quite good. At least winning a medal for a very long time, 4x1, which our country has never won for a very long time. So experience yangu ilikuwa mzuri, and na pia teamwork. Ilituonyesha that if we team work well, tutaweza perform vizuri.
So ini team so nyinyi familia nyuchapa zoezi pamoja ama kila msee ako place tofauti, considering najua hapa hivi Walter ako Stato, uko Kenya. Walter, hii mnachapaga zoezi aje ama ukiwa Kenya ndio mnachapa zoezi pamoja?
Inategemea. We might be brothers, but we are different anatomically. He's a strength athlete and I'm a power athlete. So he's good when it comes to endurance training, and I'm good when it comes to power training. But I suck at endurance training. Yeah.
So, Mike, ukiangalia Walter as your older brother, what does he give you a challenge? Do you look up to him, or do you feel as if you're already maxed on what he's done and you're going higher?
Kwanza tukitrain maneno za gym work nini huwa ananipush zaidi, na pia huwa anani-encourage sana. Yeah.
For all who are joining us, this was the final interview where we had a family of racers. Their dad was part of the Kenya team, I think, in the 1984 Olympics. Seoul, Korea. And also not forgetting Africa Championships. He has a couple, and also not forgetting the Commonwealth. He's also participated in those ones. So, and all African games. So this has been...
holder for 200 meters, KDF.
KDF 200 meter record is still held by your old man. Fantastic, fantastic. We're grateful for having this opportunity. Before we catch up with Ferdinando, we're grateful for Walter and Mike, and let's appreciate what they're doing and what is being done for athletics in this country. That was a great, thank you very much, guys. As we wind it up, this has been a 2-day event here in Kasarani with the with the qualifiers for the 4x with the qualifiers for the World Championships, and the second one has been the qualifiers for the Commonwealth Games. Both had to be executed well. Both had to be done in precise measure. We've had athletes making the required time, athletes not making the required time, and going for the Commonwealth. We are grateful for the opportunity that was given to the athletes to showcase their prowess. Utterly hurt that Beatrice will not be participating going into the 3,000 meters steeplechase, considering she's the defending champion, and an injury has put her aside going into the championships in Oregon. So thank you very much. I'll wish to invite my colleague, compatriot Greg. Greg, if you could join us just to wind it up. It's been a 2 day of exciting events. Greg, for those who are watching us at home, what do you have to say? Not even at home, because across the globe we had people who are waking up early in the US, people who are having to stay up late in Australia. Greg, just to wrap it up these 2 days.
I can say that it's been a 2-day event that has seen Kenya pick the best for the World Championships. You can see the level of competition that was here. It was really, really intense. Everyone was focused. Every athlete gave their 100%, and you could feel that the team that will be selected from this will be a very strong team. And the rest of the world, be rest assured that Kenya is going to get a lot of medals. In fact, maybe we are going to be number 1 in these championships.
Let me give you the last. This one I'm throwing you under the bus. Your predictions, 100-meter finals. I'm expecting on that lineup Fred Kelly, Trevor Brommel. I'm expecting Jacobs. I'm expecting Simbine. I'm expecting Omanyala. Who is taking the gold?
This will really, really be tough, but I'll stick with our man. Omanyala has been very consistent this year, the second fastest man. He beat Fred Curley on this track, and I'm sure with better preparation, and I know his focus has been very, very, very good, and you can see he's always led. I don't think it will be a problem to beat Curley in Oregon on home turf. He promised to beat him in the Kip Keino Classic. He did it, and I'm sure he's going to do that. But give credit to Fred Curley. He's been immense. He's been very, very consistent. He started the season slowly. Someone was telling me there was a concern about the level of confidence Omanyala had earlier on in the season, that it's slowly going down. But I'm sure the coaches will work on that, because look at the timings. Even today he's posted a 10.04, which is not really what we are used to seeing him do. He started the season strongly, posted a 9.86 in the Kip Keino Classic, and he said he was going to do a 9.6. Let's hope that Oregon becomes friendly to him, but I'm looking forward to a great 100-meter final. And probably Omanyala will bring gold to Kenya and break the duck.
Thank you very much for all who are joining us. Thank you, Greg, for keeping us on toes, especially on the closest of all the main races. We've been your host, Sam Willie Wex, and
Greg Mulemi.
So until the next time, thank you very much for joining us. We'll share the team that will be selected later on, but as from now, it's adios from us. Cheers.
Our guest of honor, we've come for that moment that we'll be able our guest of honor, we've come for that moment in time that we'll be able to engage
the crossing ceremony. At this juncture, I want to call all the athletes to come to the tunnel. All athletes, please come down to the tunnel. Please come down so that we can proceed with the crossing ceremony. As part of the ceremony, we want to allow the drummers and the dancers to entertain our distinguished guests before we formally name the teams which are going to represent us, the World Championship, Oregon, and Commonwealth Games, Birmingham. Karibu.
Wapi wengine?
wanariadha waharakishe wale tumesema mje hapa. Let's give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, to the dancers.
Get out of my shots.
Now you're going to edit me out.
Good.
Our chief guest, we now want to name the team for Oregon 2022. The team to the World Athletics Championship, Oregon 2022. To name the team, I want to invite the Chief Administration Officer, Athletics Kenya, Madam Susan Kamau, to name the team. Karibuni.
The CS Minister of Sport, Culture and Heritage, Madam Amina Mohammed, the President of Athletics Kenya, Lieutenant General retired Jackson Tuwe, the Deputy Governor, Central Bank of Kenya, Madam Sheila Kijewe, and all visitors present. It's my honor to read the team that will represent this great nation during the World Athletic Championship that will be held in Oregon. And I'll start with 100 meters men. 100 meters men, when I call your name, please the team, you move in front. Fanidas Omanyara. Javelin, the poet, Philippine Chalfor and Purity Kirui. 5,000 meters women. Beatrice Chebet, Margaret Chetimo, Gloria Kite, and Helen Obiri. 10,000 meters women. Helen Obiri, Shaila Chaturi, and Margaret Chetimo. 20 kilometers walk women. Emily G. Marathon women. Ruth Jangelji, Terry Jabchirchi, Angela Tanui, and Judith Jabchum. And that is the team that will represent this great nation during the World Athletic Championship that will be held in Oregon. For teams that have not been read here, if the World Championship will qualify, the names will be read later. And I take this opportunity to ask Mr. Paul Otui, who is the Senior Vice President of Athletics Kenya, to read the names of the officials who will accompany the team during the World Athletic Championship in Oregon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Susan. Excellency, sorry, we are told that there are some athletes coming. So, mine is to read the names of the officials who will be accompanying this team to the World Athletics Championships in Oregon. The team manager will be Rono Bunei. Mr. Ronald Ney, Assistant TM, Mr. Ole Nawankas, and the chaperone or Assistant Team Manager, Lady Tekla Sang, and the head coach would be James Muilaga, Boma, followed by Mr. Stephen Maniki, Abdi Kadir, Bernard Ouma, Nancy Tebet Lagat, Paul Ereng, Bruce Lati, Boniface Kiren, Patrick Sang, Abraham Kiplimo, Amos Coril, and Nancy Chebweni Cheriot Sigay. With those athletes, please, not athletes, but the officials, please move to the team. Thank you.
Mashabiki, tupigie makofi timu ya Oregon, timu ambayo inaenda kuwakilisha taifa. Bila shaka mabibi na mabwana, kupeperusha bendera ya taifa kule Oregon. Makofi tena mabibi na bwana kwa timu ya Kenya. Mambo sawa. Basi bila shaka tunasubiri wapigwe picha maridadi kabisa. Wanaomara team manager pale kutoka National Police, ambaye bila shaka ni mwenyekiti wa chama cha riadha Ndera Taifa ya Police, Bwana Rono Bunei AIG. Bila shaka mshamaliza kupigwa picha, basi watateremka pande chini ili tuweze kuwashukuru. Let's have the officials move back a bit. We have one in the team. Tuchukue nafasi zetu officials. Mabibi na bwana, tupigie timu ya Kenya makofi. Timu ambayo itaelekea Oregon kwa mashindano ya riadha ya ulimwengu. Naona dhahabu mingi hapa. Juzi tumeleta dhahabu 10 kutoka Mauritius. So we expect 20 sasa kutoka Oregon. Medali za dhahabu kama 20 hivi. Pia wamekubali. Ndio mabalozi wetu kule Oregon, Amerika. Asante sana. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Basi onyesheni kadi zenyu. Makofi tena. Shangwe na dereva kwa timu ya Kenya. Asante sana. Brenda, rudi nyuma sasa pande hii.
chief guests, we now amply invite Her Excellency, the First Lady, being escorted by the Minister or the Principal Secretary, the Cabinet Secretary, being escorted by the Cabinet Secretary, Ambassador Amina Mohammed, and the President of Athletics Kenya, General Retired Jackson Tui, and other distinguished guests. Please humbly come down to inaugurate the team.
Endelea kusonga hata mimi.
I request that the athletes come down to the tunnel to change. This is also going to be the chief guest. Our chief guests, I want to take this opportunity to name the team. To name Team Kenya for Commonwealth Games, Birmingham 2022. All athletes to come to the tunnel. chief guests, we now want to name the team to the Commonwealth Games 2022. 100 meters men. Ferdinand Umanyara, Samuel Kimeli is go down to transfer. 200 meters men. Mike Mukama, Asamba Dan Kibiasi. 400 meters men. Emmanuel Kipurui Ore, Boniface Mweresa. 400 meters adults. Wiseman Wede. 800 meters. Wycliffe Kinyama. Emmanuel Wanyonyi. Elias Gain. 1500 meters men. Timothy Cheruiyot, Abed Kipsang, and Kumari Taki. 300 meters, 3,000 meters steeplechase. Amos Serem, Abraham Kibiwot, Consensus Kipruto. 5,000 meters men. Nicholas Kipkorir Kimeli, Jacob Krok, and Cornelius Kimboy. 10,000 meters men. Kibiwot Kandie, Edward Sakayo, and Daniel Kubenyo Simibu. 10 kilometers walk. Samuel Kadimba. Javelin, Julius Diego. Marathon, Philemon Kacheran, Eric Kiptanui, Jonathan Correa. Women, 100 meters women. Maximila Imani. 200 meters women. Maximila Imani. 400 meters women. Mary Mora, Veronica Mutua. 800 meters. Mary Mora, Terita Mayor. 1,500 meters women. Wayne Chebet, Edna Chebiwa. 3,000 meters steeplechase. Jacqueline Chepkwait, Seraphine Chepsol. 5,000 meters. Sela Chepleting, Beatrice Chebet. 10,000 meters. Sheila Chepkurui, Kiprotich, Irene Cheptai. 10,000 meters walk. Emily Gay. Marathon. Margaret Wangari, Stella Balsosi, Maureen Chepkemoi. At this juncture, I want to call the Senior Vice President of Athletics Kenya, Paul Tui, to read the names of the officials accompanying the team to the Commonwealth Games, Birmingham 2022. Karibu, Bwana Tui.
Thank you, Bwana. The following are the officials to accompany this team. Team manager, Samson Katar. Assistant TA, James Saure. Then the head coach, Mr. Julius Kirwa. Followed by the following coaches: Ekana Nyangao, James Lutesia, Alex Sang, Gideon Chichi, Penina Talan, Richard Meto, George Kariuki, na Mr. Musonik. And the two teams will be accompanied by the following medical team, led by Dr. Victor Bagoria, Madam Jessica Shirao, and Javelin. Those officials, please to come down over here and go to accompany the team.
At this juncture, I once again, in a very humble way, request our chief guest, accompanied by the CS Sports, Ambassador Dr. Amina Mohammed, and the President of Athletics Kenya, and all distinguished guests, to come down to organize the team and officially hand over the team to North Kenya.
Commonwealth. No officials to please come forward so that we can be handed over the team in front of you. No team.
Basi ni zamu ya chama cha riadha cha Kenya kuweza kuwakabidhi kamati ya Olimpiki ya Kenya timu zetu ambazo zitatuwakilisha Birmingham hadi katika wapi makofi ya timu Kenya. Piga picha maridadi kabisa na mama wa taifa ambaye ni mgeni wetu rasmi. Kumbuka amekuwa nasi hadi amekuwa nasi toka jana, na yeye pia ni bingwa wa marathon. Yeye kushiriki kule London kilomita 41, hapa kilomita 21. Wapi makofi wa taifa? Bila shaka yeye ni bingwa wa taifa pia. 21 kilometers na akaenda London 42 kilometers. Imagine, wapi nuru tena. Bila shaka.
So, you want to use for your YouTube channel? This is mine. This is mine.
Picha maridadi. Ina hakika kamati ya Olimpiki ishafika. Kweli naona haya